Hey there everyone, sorry about the delay. As usual, Virgin Media is being so good at providing a functional service. But hey, it is what it is. Hopefully today the subtitles are working again. I have been trying to get it to do what it's supposed to do, but today's stream will be a bit shorter. I have things happening in real life that I need to take care of. In fact, right after the introduction of this, I will be stepping out really quickly just to turn off my hob stove. Sorry, I couldn't remember which one was which. It's the same thing, but, you know, it's hob in England, stove in the US. So, what we'll be doing today is continuing to convert over our project, the horror game set on the moon, from Blueprint to C++. So hopefully that it'll be fairly easy. I was having a bit of a panic that today was the tutorial prep day, and let me just say I haven't looked into how to actually address the issue around getting it around the mouse. Now, I do think I know what I'm going to do to address that issue. Alright, that said, because it's community night, well, no, I'm actually going to do the introduction as usual. So, all content here on this channel is brought to you by Patreon sponsors, and you too can help support this channel, and all you have to do is hit the like button below. It really, really does help this channel. It also helps the wider community. Hello, Sam, how are you doing today? And if you have not already, and you want to make sure you're here when I have issues like suddenly my internet stops working, then, or you want to know when the tutorials come out, or, you know, live stream tutorials, what have you, or posts I make, then make sure to hit the subscribe icon below and turn on all notifications. Alright, and if you just want to take your support a little bit further, consider becoming a Patreon sponsor. Patreon sponsors get early access to all tutorial videos. I am behind this week, though, for them, to be very honest. And get access to completed tutorial projects. As a reminder, today is not a tutorial project. This is a personal project. All right. I'm doing well, Sam. I am boiling, even though it is not as hot today, but I have been in the kitchen for 3 hours just prepping something. So I'm going to do the introduction. We'll look at I'll have the project up on screen, and then I'm going to go downstairs really quickly, stir what I have on the stove, and turn the stove off. So that said, let's move over to the introduction. Camera? Camera. There we go. Okay, that was a bit weird. Also, that YouTube banner should not have been up. Right, I also forgot to hide my taskbar, which I like to do. So, yeah, we're just going to hide the taskbar during the stream. Otherwise, it clutters stuff up. All right, so where we left off, we had converted over all of our movement stuff, it looks like. And now, again, you don't need the second one. Ooh. Oh, no, that's why I had them placed like that. But, again, because the first one isn't actually defined, you always get this warning sign. And I like putting in my implementation ones just so I know I've actually defined the thing I'm looking for. So, yeah, also this is not... Oh my god, my categories are wrong. This is flashlight. This is zoom. That's what focus is, by the way, in this case. This is also zoom. That is definitely movement. That is movement. That is movement. That's all the rest of it. Movement. All right. Now the categories really matter. It does make life easier. Now, if you're looking at this code carefully, we've used the U function macro to expose these functions to Blueprint. Now, the macro I've used in particular sees that this should have C++ code inherited in it already. And that's what that word native in the center of that 3-word signifier means, or specifier, not signifier. So it's going to be accessible to Blueprint. It has native C++ code, and it's an event. The alternative to this one is Blueprint implementable event, which actually is less costly to run, but doesn't actually use, it doesn't expect there to be any C++ code. Now, I like using Blueprint implementables around, say, RPC functions, because I do not like writing my RPC logic in C++. I like writing all my functions out in C++, yes, and then converting them over to, and then having a conversion for Blueprint and enabling them within the Blueprint. So all the high-end math is happening on the C++ side of it. So we aren't losing any optimization. What we are gaining is a faster way to debug and hunt down where issues are. Now, of course, when you're doing that, you're going to want to combine using your IDE. So I'm using Visual Studio, and you're going to want to combine the Blueprint breakpoints. All right, so here we are on our map. Let's just make sure everything is working. Once I've done that, then I am going to go downstairs and check what's on the stove. You're good, Sam? Good to hear that, man. Sorry, I meant to respond to that after the introduction, but I completely blanked. So let's go to full immersive mode. All right, we can see that my oxygen level is changing. Let's just take a couple of steps. All right, we can see that my movement's working forward. I can't go backwards. I know I can't. If I walk into that area, I can. Can't go left, can't go right. Can do diagonal. Actually, here's an interesting one. What happens if I do this? Okay, that does nothing. I know the footprints are a bit messed up. I'll have to figure out what's going on there. Our sprint is working. I mean, gonna have to balance out how much stamina we're losing. And then let's try our, that's not the right key. Oh, there we go. There's our jog speed. Go back to our regular one, and you can see that it's changing how much oxygen we're using. I'm going to just bounce myself. Oh yeah, you can't move the camera when you're in air. All right, I definitely need to get some oxygen. I am at 43%, 42%. I am going to start sprinting to that thing. There we go. All right. And now while I'm in here, we can see that we have mag boots active. And I'm going to start regaining oxygen. All right, our resume is still working. EA, nothing broke. I am not regaining stamina quickly, it looks like. Flashlight is working. Again, we're going to have to probably work on the timing around that, but it is what it is for now. All right, so I'm going to leave you here just for one moment. I'll be back within 3 minutes. Oh, sorry about that. And I probably should have muted the microphone when I walked away, but hey ho. Alright, that is concerning. Right. So it has recharged the battery, it looks like a bit. Right, something is definitely off there. So let's just open up our test warehouse. Sorry, I was also using my walking away to see something. Right. Okay, it's done through an interface. Why was I smart enough to do this on an Oh, because I was getting rid of the old stuff. Right, core. Layer. Alright, it'll probably be up here in my debug stuff. Nope. I don't want the actually I want to see the references. So what we're gonna do is hunt down where this actually gets called. Okay, it's called in the C++ code only. So let's pop over to the C++. Let's go to character base. Sorry, I didn't say that in a weird way because of the double E thing. I said that because I was annoyed at it being in the wrong spot. All right. What the hell? Regen oxygen trigger. Set as in vacuum. B should regen. Hey, D-Tech Studio, how are you doing today, man? All right, let's head over to the character statistics. Player controller. Yoink, let's move the interface to the end there. Stats component. Okay. Huh. Huh. Well, this poses an interesting issue. Also, there's going to be a fan on in a second. It is 29 degrees in here. Oh, fan feels good, yo. Fan feel good. Okay, I clearly do not. Hang on. Something weird is happening here. Now, I think I know what I did. All right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That feature, that intentional feature I put in is going to drive me personally up the wall. All right. 16, 17. Okay, so it is regenning. All right, and let me just minimize. I clicked the wrong thing. Let me minimize this. Go back to our test warehouse. We don't have the battery set up. That's why the battery is not doing the thing it's supposed to do. Right, so what I want to now check, just pop back here for a moment. Let's just see what the oxygen level is at. Hey, Grell, how you doing, man? Welcome back in. All right. That is actually concerning to me. So I think there is a small bug. Not the one that I'm currently trying to figure out what I've done. And I'm gonna definitely need to probably have a overloaded interface in a moment. We are looking for the wrong thing because we are not in what we want to be, and we want to be in the stats component. So, right. Oxygen deplete. Oxygen regen. There we go. We hit the breakpoint finally. Okay. So oxygen regenerate. It's a really small number. That's why. Okay. So that's how I did that. Now, what I'm concerned by, let me just pop back over to the correct window, is, well, if you look, it's really kind of dark, right? Now, if I hit play again, and we go back to immersive mode. All right. Notice how bright it seems. So let me just jump one step that way. I'm not good. Just tore a ligament in my... Oh, Jesus, that sounds painful. Having torn all the ligaments in my knee at one point and now having a chronic injury as a result, I definitely sympathize with that sort of pain. I hope everything goes well, and make sure to do your physio properly. And if you're not sure what proper is, make sure to ask your doctor, because I was the idiot who did their physio incorrectly, thus the chronic injury. All right, notice that as we use stamina, it gets darker. Now, we're no longer using our stamina the same way. We're now just stood here. It should get lighter. It isn't. So I can tell you quite literally where that issue lies. That issue is going to lie inside our widget, and it's going to be in our main widget. So, what is going on here? It's going to be this function. And... okay, it's useful. Let's refresh that. Okay, great, useful. Override should be false. Yep. So we're only going to that amount. There is our... Fmath clamp. We're clamping between 1 minus our normalized range and... hang on a second. New opacity local. Interior bracket. Okay, there we go. We are normalizing it between 1 minus this thing. Or, yeah, normalizing value between max and 0. So our max should be 100%. Yep. And then we normalize that value. We could just do a ratio there instead if we preferred, to be clear, but figured using the Fmath library or the Ukismet math library would be useful. What is a second argument? Clamp between that and 0. Oh, sorry, this is the value for the clamp. Duh. This is the min. This is the max for the clamp. Okay, sorry. Trying to read that. I know I was being cheeky when I said, oh, we're going to do everything on one line. And I am now kicking myself for that. All right. We then set the current opacity level. So what is our new opacity level? Let's just go down a line. All right. Useful. Bloody useful. Okay. Well, result local is the one I care about. So we'll just keep going down. Did it just get past that one? Alright, let's look at our actual debug here, and I'm going to be a little bit lazy and not actually dig for it. We'll just do result local. No match is found. What the... Okay, we'll just continue for a moment. We'll get a breakpoint in just a second again. Or not. Interesting. Okay. So, it seems to be stuck here. Right. So that should be about 0. Alright, so what this means to me is that this function is not being called correctly when we stop moving. So let's go to our stats component base, and that's our oxygen timer. We don't care about that one. This is our init component. Let me just start minimizing stuff. Alright. We don't need the set health one. We don't need the oxygen. Oxygen regen. I am not happy with the oxygen regen. And I do want to overload it, but I'll take care of that later. Consumption rate. Oxygen is in vacuum. Stamina. Okay, stamina regen is the one we care about. So... Stamina deplete. Stamina cost local. Sorry, give me a second. Run stamina deplete. Switch based on movement type. Oh, sorry. I think I did this last time where I read that as the end of the function instead of end of the switch statement. So we're going to get the current stamina. What do you mean, how much time do I have, man? Get current stamina. Is it greater than the stamina cost? If so... Alright, this is deplete. So deplete is working correctly. Alright, this is if we don't have stamina, we regen our trigger. So that's back up here. Right. So, I think our... Okay, let's just see what happens. Honestly, I'm not moving, so that should automatically trigger. But we'll find out in a moment. Interesting. What about this one? Alright, it wants me to rebuild, it looks like, so that's what we're going to do. We're just going to go ahead and rebuild. We haven't made any changes yet. Let's see if we can figure out why our regen isn't working. While that's rebuilding, I'm going to quickly run downstairs and check on the thing on the stove. Give me one moment, please. See, at least that time I remembered to mute my microphone. I also just punched my microphone, so I am sorry for anyone I just deafened. All right, let's see. Okay, those are being triggered correctly now. They're not giving me warnings. Let's go ahead and try this. I'm not going to go to full screen because I don't want to... There we go. Cool. Oh yeah, I didn't mean to do that. Huh. Interesting. I think I see the issue. Which is surprising, considering something. But I'm going to just make sure I deplete my stamina really quickly here. Thank you. And just want to get me as close to this thing as I can, because... Alright, there we go. And there we go. Okay. So, our current stamina is at 10. Our max is 100. And this should return true. So, let's step forward 1, F11. F11, thank you. Alright, this should then cause that regen to start. Why do I have this oxygen tech here twice? That's interesting. Alright. Let's step into this one. Okay, what's interesting there, and I just want to take a look at something again. I'm going to use, even though I'm hitting F11, that's concerning. Okay. So what's concerning me about this, what's making me uncomfortable, is this bit right here. Also, let me just hit resume and pop myself back over this way. Alright. So I don't know why I did that. Also, let me fix this chair. Alright, so... why is there 2 oxygen checks? That's my first question. My second question, while looking at this, is a set stamina. Alright, I just want to make sure that is triggering I mean, we know that's triggering correctly. We saw it changing. I do not know. There we go, we're moving. Hey, there we go. Okay. Right. We're just gonna hit continue. And we're gonna look for set stamina. Alright, there we go. And yeah, that is a bit odd. Why is this not being called? What the heck? I actually do not know why that event isn't being called. Yes, I know the footprints are off. I will keep saying that. Alright, Alright, so that should just return. Cool. Alright. So let's get rid of that one. Okay. Step into this. Oh, that's the wrong one. Step into this. All right, let's take a look at this logically and see if we can work out what is it doing, or why is it not doing what it should do. Let's go back to the top of this. So our stamina timer checks if we have stamina and our owner is moving. So our velocity is not 0. If we have stamina and our velocity is not 0, then we run our stamina deplete event. We set a stamina cost local based on our movement type and based on if we are in a area where we're in 0G pretty much, or if we can stay anchored to the ground, in other words. So that just sets our stamina local cost. We then check, is our current stamina greater than the cost? In other words, can we afford to do the action we're trying to do? If so, we then set our stamina by adding a negative stamina cost in, which then makes this current stamina plus current stamina, which makes current stamina equal to current stamina minus our delta stamina, which we pass in as the stamina cost. All right. We clamp our return value between 0 so we can't have negative stamina and our max stamina. All right. If our cost is greater than our current stamina, we check, is the thing we're trying to call up able to use the interface we've set up? It should be. We only have one thing calling this interface, so. But it is a good safety check to have in place in case something gets deleted along the way. We execute the set trigger movement type, which we saw is working. It's what's showing up on the side of the screen when I sprint for too long, and it goes, exercise ceased. And we begin the stamina regen event there. If we aren't moving, then we trigger the stamina regen. If our stamina regen is less than if our current is less than our max, and we have oxygen in our suit, we increase our stamina by 1, which is a fairly large number in comparison to some of these. Also, because I've never decided what these values were going to be, I think, for running and jogging. And that's why it's, you know what? If true, if false, we'll set that to, if mag boots are active. We'll set this one. So if true, we'll set that to 0. And set that to 0 as well. Just as a quick change to the code a little bit there. Right. Also, to actually make this a nice change so everything still lines up and I can do things like this. Yoink. Alright, so what is going on here? Right, first things first, I want to get rid of this for now. Alright, and then let's rebuild. Alright, so we're just going to restart the editor, let it do its thing, see if we can't get this problem solved. Alright, I have no idea what's going on there. Alright, yeah, if anyone sees in the chat, by the way, since this is a community hangout, if you just want to talk, ask about things, it doesn't have to be related to this. If you see things you might go, ugh. You see things and you go, oh, I think I see what's going on here, what's wrong with this, feel free to shout that out as well. Alright, let's try this again. Alright, so, and I'm just going to confirm that the, that was me pulling my finger off the shift key, by the way, so that doesn't count for anything. There we go. We're now at, and there we go. That's the exercise deplete. That wasn't me pulling my finger off the shift key that time. All right. There we go. What could be setting it so high actually is the character heart rate, but that doesn't feel right to me. And because the movement component isn't exposed, or not the movement component, the stats, the actor component isn't actually exposed to Blueprint. It's only in C++. I can't start, you know, finagling things in Blueprint to easily debug this one. But we're regaining oxygen. You know what I'm going to do, actually, just to make my life a tiny bit easier? We're going to go into the player. We're just going to see what we have set up in here. So we have our focus event, which I did in Blueprint because I wanted the zoom event there. Our flashlight's there because we don't have access to the actual flashlights until we come here. Alright. Cool. We're gonna just do this. That is what that is actually there for. Also, you know what? Because I don't want to have to deal with this being moved. What we're gonna do is we're gonna print a different float. We're gonna get our character statistics. We're going to get current stamina, which apparently has a typo in it because the S isn't capital. So very quickly, I just want to pop over there. And that's probably going to be inside the header. It's probably going to be an inline, knowing me. So let's find the character stats component there and get current, oh, that's one word, get current stamina. Yeah, there is a typo there. And it indeed is an inline. Just really quickly, let's rename this using the IntelliSense tool because I cannot remember everywhere where I have used this function. All right, so it's in our stat component base. Yep, that makes sense. Cool. Apply. Our changes are made. Awesome. All right, so get current stamina. Also, we're going to set this to run as if it were a tick. Yeah, I don't want to enable the tick and then have to delete the tick node in case I do actually want it in the future. All right. We might not get much done today if I can't figure out what's going on with this. All right. Boing. I know we lose stamina fast and all that stuff. All right, so we are regenning the stamina. All right. So our screen should get lighter. We can see the stamina count going up, so we know we are regenning correctly, at least. That was my concern. What we don't know, what we can't figure out right now, at least, where I say we, what I can't figure out right now, at least, is why the screen isn't getting lighter. All right, so my next port of call is to see if I've actually exposed anything blueprint-wise from our C++. So, hey, at least I did this. That makes my life a tiny bit easier. Oh, it's just called blackout, isn't it? Yep. Cool. All right, let's go back to the graph. And we'll do blackout. We want to get blackout. We want to get opacity. Get color and opacity. And we're going to break this. Cool. We're going to leave this as is for now. Actually, we'll do is a print string here as well. So we're just going to change the color up on this so I know which one's which. This one will be orange, apparently. And we just want to print the value there. Cool. Let's go ahead and test this out. And again, I'm going to have to run downstairs just to stir what's on the stove. Come on. Tell me what the hell's wrong with you. That's a bit concerning. Oh, you aren't being called. That's why. Alright, so movement. I mean, you can kind of see it in there, by the way. It flickers. What I'll show you in a moment is we can do window. We can go to output log. No, not output log. I was the wrong button. Oh, no, it is output log. There it is. Alright, you can see every so often there's this weird flicker either in the blue over there on the left or the bottom of my screen. You might notice that every so often there's this little thing going off. Alright. So I'm just going to wait till this gets back to 100, and then we're going to have the unfortunate job of crawling through all of this. Also, what I could do while that's happening is put a breakpoint there. So it is passing in the correct amount. Cool. Now what I'm going to do is put a breakpoint here, just for the hell of it. Not really. Alright. So that is a bit concerning. Right. For those of you who can't see why that's concerning, that's staying at 0.8, which is our max. Right, I'm just going to let this resume. I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, sorry, when I was in the kitchen I decided to grab myself a little treat. Which is to say, I grabbed something that British people seem to hate, but as an American I love. Fake beer. I mean root beer, by the way. Right, we're at 100, so we can stop. Cool. I'm thrilled by this. So thrilled. Because I don't know what the heck the name was. You know what? Since we know the regen's working, sod what I'm currently doing. We're just going to very quickly break that. So, Alt, by the way, if you don't want to unclick off, or click and drag, that is. Alright, let's see if we can get this to work correctly. Alright, so, also, while I'm thinking about it, are we at the bottom? Nah, we are, okay. Alright, bouncy. Well, there's our issue. as we're regenerating stamina, it isn't changing. So I definitely messed something up here. Cool, I don't care. You know, I might actually undo this for now, because that doesn't appear to be the issue. It's the update blackout itself that appears to be messed up. All right. So it needs current, max, and override. We send this to the owner, which is a player base. Oh, what I should have done when I was in there. First off, let's move that there so I don't get confused. Is look for the trigger blackout. Let's go here. Let's search for our trigger blackout implementation. All right, so we know that it's getting past this. We're not getting any breakpoint warnings. We're also getting the print string to work. We pass in value, max. So all that seems to be correctly passing through based on what we're seeing. Let's head over to our main UI. All right. I almost feel like the issue is this normalized to range. All right, I'm gonna open up a different project really quickly, just so I can find some stuff that I don't remember. It's really basic stuff, but it's a define I don't remember. I think it's if in editor or something like that, but I'd rather not Google it and just find a version that I know. Talking has made this harder to do because I'm trying to read file names while doing this. Please open the correct version. Thank you. That is in 2019. I haven't updated it to 2022 yet. All right. Cool. You know that word I hate? I just had to type the thing I say instead of the word I want to say. And yeah. All right. Funny enough, yeah, it is if. Oh no, it wasn't one word. Cool. All right. So we're gonna do if with editor. I thought it was one word. I didn't realize it was underscored. And then we're gonna do UE log, and it's log temp warning text. Current new opacity, and then that is a float. So we're going to pass into it our new opacity local. We'll terminate that, and then we'll end if right here. Okay. So that should be that lovely thing. All right, blackout. We're actually going to repeat this for all three of these, and I am doing this intentionally beneath each line because it was giving me a weird warning down here. All right, we're going to do that. And... Huh. Oh, my God. I'm not finishing that. I saw the error. Oh, my God. I'm a moron. Okay, so last time we did this live stream, I ran into a bug with the blackout. We resolved that bug. By resolving that bug, we created the issue that we're seeing today. And that issue currently sits on line 23. Okay. Crap. We can't just remove line 23. What we can do is change it from line 23, though, really quickly by getting rid of all of this. I could just leave this, I know, but I like doing it this way. Cool. So the issue literally now is line 17. this line. It's saying what we did was because our damage events and our stamina events were interfering with each other. Actually, what we're going to do is just a very quick if statement. So if override, which I meant to put a B on, if that's true, then we do this. Also, that's override with a capital O. Then we do this. Else, result local. Oh. Now, we're actually going to make one other change to this. We'll declare this up here. And this will be defined as new opacity level local. So in other words, what we're going to do is if we are passing in override, which happens on damage events, then we're going to pick between the higher of the two. If we are not, then we just go with the default setting. That should resolve this issue. Now, I can't compile this right away because that will actually just give me a error. So what we're going to do is rebuild. There we go. Problem solved. Yay! Jesus, I can't believe that was a silly mistake, and I can't believe I just didn't read that line. Let's go plug in some print strings to a log, and I'll find the error that way. I did, oddly enough, but should never have reached that stage. Should never have reached that stage, to be fair. Okay, that was a bit embarrassing. I am not joking. That actually was a tiny bit embarrassing. Sandal Ford Knight, Sandal Knight Ford, as I like to call you, if you're here, you're ruining my fun. If you're not here, I'll tell you that when I see you later today. All right, cool. This should now work. So let's go ahead and hit play. Let's see what's happening. By the way, Grell, if you never heard me, I asked what you were referring to by how much time. All right, there we can see the thing is going up. It will lock at 0.8 in just a moment. There we are. We're locked at 0.8. And there, it's going down. Okay. So that is getting us back to what we should be. All right, it's going to take a moment for it to go back down. And just so I don't run out of oxygen while we're waiting for the screen to return to normal. I am also moving, so it's probably going to go back up a little bit. Yeah, it's going back up a bit. All right, there we go. And you can see the screen is actually getting lighter. So we have resolved that issue. Now, what we need to do is make sure that by resolving this issue, we haven't recreated the issue we just had last time, which again was the conflict between the stamina blackout event and the health blackout events. All right, so hey, our screen is back to full brightness. We don't have the image acting as an opacity mask, creating issues. So, all right, let's do this. Let's get this to about there, and then I think I hit V, spacebar. Oh, I hit spacebar too many times. Okay. It is spacebar, by the way. I'm gonna confirm that in just a moment. All right, yep, there we go. And then, do I not have the alternative plugged in? Let's go to player. Let's go to the debug code. There it is. Q. It is the Q key. All right, so spacebar removes health, Q adds health for the debug tests. Ooh, what the heck just happened there? Okay, that was weird. Cool. Right, so there is other bugs. Let's go hunt those down. Looks like we're not converting stuff over today. Looks like we're just bug hunting today. That is not what I intended to have happen on this stream, but hey, it's where we're at. Right, I already see the logic issue here for one of them. So, yeah, that isn't a good idea what I just did. That only works on the same frame. So... I'm trying to figure out which variable I want to store and check against. We'll come back to that in a moment. We don't need this. What we do need to do is go to the stats base again. And we need to... Why are you giving me an error message? Unexpected declaration? What are you on about? Love that isn't actually doing crap. Alright, I am just a bit confused what's going on down here. Use that space component. B is active. I'm looking at the wrong one. Unexpected declaration. Expected a declaration. Expected a declaration. If current flashlight, or flashlight battery current divided by flashlight battery max is less than 15%. Then what we'll do is this. I don't know what the heck you're expecting there, but okay. And we know you work. We've tested you. I'm going to test you again in just a moment for that reason. Alright. Knowing me, I would have actually jammed this at the top. So let's go up to the top. Set movement. Set health. Alright. Is dead if our health is less than or equal to 0. Yeah, we know that part works. Alright. Send the health over. We send the max over, and we override. Cool. Let's go over here. So we know that that goes through the player controller. We don't need to go through all those steps again of just hunting this thing down. Actually, something I do want to check, and we are going to hunt one thing down in here really quickly. Let's just do it this way. Just... float would have been the easiest thing to type in. A blue float, since it took us away from there. Alright, so current max override. Okay, so update blackout. Current max override. Awesome, that's right. Give me a second. Okay, let me bring this onto the other screen so you can see just what I'm doing. I need this down here, actually. So, it is 1 minus value, 0 max. Okay, so 1 minus... do 100, 0, 100, 1 minus 50, 0, 100. 1. I'm also going to do 25 points in a moment, but we'll come back to that in a moment. All right, so this is 1 minus 1, which is 0. This is 1 minus 0.5, which is 0.5. This is 1 minus 0, which is 1. Okay. 1 minus 750 100, which is 1 minus 0.75 equals 0.25. All right, so the math does line up. Okay. What we're going to do instead of trying to work out what I did wrong with the math there is we're going to just put a breakpoint there. We're going to pop back over to the editor once I can find the icon for it. We're going to hit play. And we're going to just watch what happens when I when I damage my health really quickly. All right, so I'll hit spacebar. There we are. Our current health is now 0.75, which means we should have a 0.25 on our other thingamajigger. So, hey, there we are. Let me also just put a breakpoint there. Hit continue. There we go. All right, so oh. Right. It's all the same error. Cool. All right. First off, let's just let me just do this. We're going to run this version of it really quickly. Hopefully this will work. If it doesn't, then the error is much bigger than I thought. If it does work, sorry, I'm just taking my phone out of my pocket. It's digging into my leg. Give me just a moment. I will be here. I'm just going to very quickly check something. Sorry, my neighbor called me. I just want to make sure everything is okay. I was just texting him back. Or texting. Called me during a little bit, about half an hour ago. No, I don't need help getting started with Quixel. I've been using Quixel. Sorry, I'm just clearing out my notifications as well. Oh, I did go to a Tesco yesterday. I'm like, why does my phone think I went to a Tesco? I was at a different store today that I won't say because Brits mock me when I say the name of it. Here's a funny thing. Brits talk about Americans being rude. I have never once heard an American actually mock a British person in terms of their accent, but Brits love to do it. Here's the other scary part. Brits are almost as actually are, not almost. Brits are as egotistical as Americans. All right, there we go. All right, so the error is interestingly big. Cool. Boink. Cool. All right, so the value we're passing in is 100. Our max is 100. Our override is true. All right, so value is 100. That's 0. That's 100. All right, so we should be clamped between 0 and 1 in this case. Let's see what we get. So I can find the F11 key. So new opacity local. Really? Is optimized away and not available. Cool. All right. Oh, yeah, no shit, it's not working. What we're just going to do is comment that out. That should help resolve that issue. Come on, do the thing you're supposed to do, code. Read my mind. Know what I want you to do and do it. Is that that much to ask for? Or have, as Bradley in my community, as one of my community managers, Bradley says, have a make game button. All you gotta do is import the make game button, click it, and it makes the game you want. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Yes, I just said what you think I just said. I would actually find that really boring if there was a button that did that, to be fair. I enjoy the process. Not this part of the process. This part of the process is actually making me a little bit frustrated. Also, my beard has more ginger in it than I realized. Right. It looks like it's thin on the camera, but it's actually just ginger. Right. Sod off. I don't need to see that right now. All right. There we go. Okay. So that was indeed the issue. Cool. Still, that means we have an issue. Again, the issue we had last week, which we resolved, which led to this new set of issues. As the famous song goes, 99 bugs in the code, 99 bugs in the code. Take one down, debug it around, 892 bugs in the code. So, I'm going to start running and just watch that number. Also, I died there because I hit the spacebar 4 times. But notice that, yeah, it went crazy there for a moment. If you don't know what I mean by it went crazy, let's look at the output log. And, all right, here's where I start moving. Here's where I start moving, and right under where I have highlighted. Can I zoom in on that? No, I cannot. There is this 0.5 value. That is when I hit the spacebar to do damage. Actually, sorry, no, I lied to you. Up to here's where I'm moving. Here's where I hit the spacebar to do my first set of damage, 0.25. So it goes from 0.151 to 0.25 when I hit spacebar. In the next frame, it goes to 0.176. So it's dropped back down. And then here, it's 0.251. Hey, we got back to my damage color at least. Or damage opacity. The color's always the same. And down here, it's 0.5. I hit the spacebar the second time. And in the next frame, it's 0.276. That is the issue we're trying to address. I like how that just ends with the camera aimed up at blackness. And I'm like, I can't tell if that's actual blackness or if I'm under the map somehow. I mean, if it's under the map, you'd get like the Starfield pattern of the rocks on the surface here. All right. So, how do we resolve this? What we need to have happen is we need the screen to get lighter when your stamina is regenerating, when you're healing, what have you. Sorry, I had an idea, and I'm just trying to think how I can execute the idea. It's much simpler than the idea I've been tossing around in my head while doing this stuff. What I want to do, what I want to change is this bit, not the bit above it. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to do it this way. We're going to make sure we copy the word, not the line. All right, let's just see if this works. And yes, I'm avoiding hot loading as much as humanly possible. All right, neighbor hasn't texted me back. I'm a little bit concerned. I am going to say on camera, I'm just going to mute myself for a moment. Actually, I'm going to leave myself unmuted for a moment until I have the call going. Then I'm going to mute myself. So just give me 1 second. It'd be lovely if my headset registers the fact that it was in my ears, though. Oh, connected, waiting for calls. Cool. It didn't beep like it normally does when I've plugged them in. So, who called me at 1 in the morning today? Oh, I was calling somebody. Alright, sorry about that. So, I didn't think that line of code through clearly. And, yeah, it went crazy. Actually, as I'm thinking about this, why do I even need this line anymore? What I could do is take this line and not do that, but do that. Move that line up 1. We're going to take the new opacity local. If you didn't hear earlier, I was taking a quick call from my neighbor to make sure everything was okay. And yes, everything is okay. Oh god, my hair is really messed up from that. Oh, nearly long enough to donate my hair to the Princess, not Princes, Princess Trust. Both those things exist in the UK, the Prince's Trust and the Princess Trust. The Princess Trust is about business management and getting people jobs, starting careers, things like that, starting companies. The Princess Trust is for children with cancer, and it's a charity where I'm going to be donating my hair to. Right, so what we're going to do here instead is... So I'm just going to look at it this way because I broke it out up here, and that suddenly does make this easier to understand for me. We want to normalize this to the range. We want to -1 from it, and we're going to clamp it between those two. So what we're looking for, I use Tresemme, which is really bad for your hair, actually. It's full of plastics. Like I said, Grail, I was taking a call, but I didn't want to leave the stream. I was just checking my neighbor is okay. I am not going to have a phone call on stream. I mentioned that before I muted myself and after. Or after I came back. Right. So, what I want to do is... X. X is the value I want to change. No. Is it? Alright, you know what? Screw this. What we're going to do is we're going to look at the working version in Blueprint from the survival series, because I was, I mean, we wrote that code for a reason. Rain coming. The rain shall be here. Of course, last time I said rain coming, it was 2% chance of rain. So I've learned not to trust that thing at all. Right. Prep. Come on, load. But yeah, once my hair is long enough, Sam, I'll be doing a charity event live stream probably, or something else that's a charity event within the community for people to donate to both Macmillan Cancer Research Charity and Princess Trust. In here it says rain. Sorry, in here it rain as I said, but like 5 minutes or less. I mean, it's England. If it isn't raining somewhere, something is horribly wrong in this country. Oh, I just looked out my window. It actually is raining here. I am not joking. It actually is raining. Like, legit right now, it is raining. Hang on, does it say it's gonna rain or rain coming? It is not 20 degrees Celsius here. It's hotter than that, actually. My outside thermometer has it at, both of them have it around 22 degrees. I meant 2022, 22 degrees, which isn't much different than 20 degrees, but still. Inside, it's much hotter, because there's an RTX right under my leg, or right next to my leg, slowly baking me alive. Like, I am actually sweating a lot. When I can be anywhere else in my house, and I won't sweat, except for the kitchen. That's a different matter, though. So, actually, it's the same reason as why I sweat in my office. But, well, a different cause for that reason, but the reason's the same. It's hotter in those two rooms. Wait. Did I ever... Oh, I was waiting for this to pop up on my screen to let me know it was ready. Right. So we did something like this in the survival series. In fact, actually, it's where I pinched the idea from. Now, I didn't use this method because we were making it polymorphic to cover both health and it's not nice of me. It's just something easy I can... Well, God, showering takes ages now, but it doesn't take any effort to grow my hair. It's not like I'm going out of my way to do anything unique. But thank you. So we didn't use this approach because we wanted to be polymorphic using both stamina and health and oxygen as triggers that affect this thing. That means, from the logic of what I'm thinking about, whichever the higher of the three is in terms of the opacity is the one we should be using. All right, that we'll take care of in a moment. The way they measure temperature is 1 meter above the ground, and 2 under a shadow. I mean, Sam, you've seen pictures of my backyard. The shadow that I have in my backyard is my building, is the house I live in. And that's where the thermometers are located. So it's 22 degrees in the shadow right now. It is 27 degrees. Hey, it's not 29 anymore, but I do have a window open and a fan on in my office. Hang on, let me check that temperature again. That one says 29.2. That one's 29.4. You're the one near the open window. The one near the computer is colder. Okay. I no longer trust those two thermometers. Right. So we don't need this bit. We do need this. Yep. We're doing this. Cool. We have a different version of that. Whoa, what the hell was I doing with that? Why did I make that choice? We clamp it here. We pass out this value of our clamp to the set stat opacity, stamina opacity. Okay. Why would this ever be graded? I hope I made a comment during the video of, I'm just doing this to make myself confident that it actually is going to do what I want. Right, okay. So we have actually followed the same logic, except for we don't have 2 clamps in, because I'm not crazy like that. Alright, let's just drop this back down to where it was before. Because originally it was just this line and that line. Then we started doing all these other things to make it work correctly. Alright, let's think about this. We want it to decrease when the stamina has changed. Okay, we're currently doing that. We want to increase when the stamina has changed. We're currently doing that. We want it to not change if the character is damaged, hurt, whatever, and the stamina is changing. Right, okay, so I think to solve this issue, we are going to have to put flags in. Now, before I start tossing flags in here, we're gonna just drain the oxygen off the player really quickly, just to see. Oh no, because that will actually create issues. We won't be able to tell. Can I do it from the player? Oh my god, if I can do this from the blueprint, I'll giggle. Actually, I should be able to do it from the blueprint. Oxygen. Ox. There we are. Consumption rate. Has oxygen. Oxygen regenerate. Base consumption rate. Why do I have 2 of these? Low oxygen. Did I not actually? There we are. Current. We'll set this to 1. There we go. Now we can do our test. Come on, game. Alright, so oxygen does do that. Oh yeah, we haven't recompiled since earlier. Whoops. Okay, so that is something we need to know. So we need to know. Okay. So lowest priority will be stamina. We don't give a crap about the stamina if the players. Okay. Give me a second. We're gonna pseudocode this because the logic is gonna get wonky for a moment. If damaged. Alright, so for damage, and this is called by the stamina event, what we're going to do then is we're going to do this bit. Okay. So we'll do the result local then at this point is pick whichever one of the 2 is higher. If damaged and oxycall. Actually, what we'll do is we'll make this one argument. We'll do or oxycall. Else if oxycall, which I should have called this DMG call then, just so we're clear on that it's the same flag sets we're using. If oxycall and stack call, So this is going to handle both damage event and stamina event at the same time, and damage and oxygen at the same time. This is going to handle if oxygen's called. I'm putting the primary event that I care about first, and then stamina. Literally the same. And then, yeah, everything else should be as is. Okay, cool. So we're gonna start doing then is deleting the part we don't need. Okay, we don't need. Oh god, what was this at the start of the stream? Okay. Yoink. Notepad. Yeah. Did the notepad ever open? It did. Cool. Go there. Wow. Wow. Okay. Cool. That's where we started at. All right. So let's just go ahead, kill that out. Let's get the main UI open from the header. And in here, we're going to go down to the set blackout event. And, oh, that's not going to work. Because they're happening on different calculation ticks. I know how to do this not as a polymorphic approach. I want this to be polymorphic. And I am legitimately stuck trying to figure out how to actually get that to work. Oh, I need to call those people as well at some point. Wow. Why is the BBC recommending to me, Magic Mike? Sorry, I had to actually read the name of it. I recognize the film because, you know, it was been memed and talked about like ad nauseum. All right, so my idea of who's calling this up isn't going to work because while they appear simultaneous mathematically, they are happening at different moments. So it's multiple calls of the same thing we're seeing. Okay, we could collect the calls or collect the number of things and send them off all at once. That would be really complex for something really simple. We could at that point we should just go remove the polymorphism and have multiple approaches to the same thing. Sorry, I'm going through ideas in my head and ones that I can rule out before I can even explain them to you. I am going to rule out, but I will say out loud why I'm ruling them out. So the idea I just ruled out was having multiple blackout windows instead of just the one. So multiple layers of it, but at that point, you might as well just not be polymorphic. Also, that becomes additive at that point anyway, so no. I mean, even if I could capture total screen total screen opacity or darkness based on what's happening, I can't. By the way, you know, I can't have a sky atmosphere, but that is the opacity or the luminosity. You know what word I mean of the sky. Okay. You know what? Actually, it was a placeholder. I always intended to replace the blackout image for all of them with 3 different things. So it actually is going to be 3 different things. We aren't going to worry about that, mostly because we will be taking care of that in a different video. or at a different point when we actually have texture images to work with for that. So I am going to just back away from trying to resolve this. We're restarting the project just to see what we have left over in our blueprint side that needs to be converted over. Yes, I just wasted 90 minutes of my own time and your time. I am sorry about that. I am an idiot, I realize. If Gordon Ramsay were here, he would make me into a meme by making me into an idiot sandwich. Sorry again about that. Also, what the heck is this stuff? Oh, this is the stuff for the actual thing up there. Cool. Those are the ones we've already finished out. What have we finished out? We finished out the stats component. Cool. The player controller and the movement prototypes. That's why that was open in the other window. Right. Let's just pop this guy open. This is a derived class that has nothing in it special. This is this thing. What do we have left over? Call to our parent. Create widget, which is why we have a blueprint. Add to viewport. Really? That doesn't happen in the parent? Okay. We know why that's happening there. Yeah, we know that's why happening there. Okay, so these are all converted over to C++, and everything we see on the screen then, minus this early, and yeah, minus this, and anything that's native to, I guess not even minus that then. Everything here is, except for minus this, and that actually is accurate, is one of our C++ things, or an Unreal thing, so not even minus that. Okay, that's done. What's an actor? Test warehouse? Yeah, no. What's this? Okay, so you're part of our interaction prototype. Cool, we need to work on you at some point. We're not today, most likely, I think. I want to work on that, but we're not up for that. All right. It's gonna be you, ain't it? Oh. Really? Let's go to the AI prototype then. Spaghetti code. Do you even do anything anymore? Okay. So we need to fix that up. We'll need to fix that up. Okay. You know, honestly, I don't know what the heck I want to do now, because a lot of this stuff is things I actually want to, Alright, well, you know what I guess we're working on today? This thing. So let's take a look at an example of this from a different project I've been working on. Sam, you're going to recognize this one in just a moment, probably. So what was that image of? I have no idea what this is an image of, and I'm not sure what I'm looking at all. That wasn't a joke. Like, I actually legitimately can't tell what that was a picture of, and it was bugging me. All right, let's get this loaded. Oh, it loaded pretty quickly. Cool. So, hey, look at this map, this pretty map, all right? So right here is an example of our interaction we're gonna have. Now, what we need to be mindful of is the hierarchy here, all right? So we're gonna have in our master these two elements, because we need a default root, and we don't know if our interaction is going to, why is that so laggy? We don't know if our interaction is going to be a door, a handle, a pickup, what have you. So what we need is a billboard, so that isn't the root, and an interaction area. Now, because we don't know what type it's going to be, we want the interaction area to be separate from the actual thing that's being interacted with. Okay. So that is what the okay. I'm not sure what's going on with my internet connection. I'm genuinely confused. Sorry, I'm typing in the chat if you can hear me, just being, yeah, warning you about that. Oh dear God, like, it's really bad, isn't it? Hear me, just being... Okay, so it seems to be working on my end again. I don't know what's going on here, though. Cool. Kind of annoyed, by the way. Alright, YouTube is still giving me a warning. There is a chance that I will lose connection then. Just so folks are aware. Alright, let's go to our C++ classes. Let's go to our public core. And then we're going to add a new actor type. We'll put this in a folder called actors. And this will be our actually, let's spell this right. Interaction. And before we continue, you can let me switch windows on? You can let me switch windows? You can let me switch windows? Are you? Are you? Yes, you are. I'm going to make you do it. Base. I'm using the term base here instead of master. So interaction base. I also typed that into the wrong window when I first started putting the word basin. Alright, so we are in Horror on the Moon, Homeward, Source, Homeward, Public, Core Actor, Private, Core Actor. Okay, let's go ahead and create our class. We'll let it run its thing. Whilst it's doing that, and again, I'm not going to reload until the thing is up, we're going to look up the uBillboard. Thank you. Billboard component, UE5, because I actually don't know the header for that one. Thank you. It is also not what I meant to click. I meant to click the one above it. Rendering component, UE5 document. Awesome. That is not useful. That is not what I wanted. uBillboard component, that's what I wanted. I want the uComponent version of it. All right, we can go ahead and reload now. Yes, please stop. Thank you. All right, and then what we can do is we can get that document back on screen, yo. Cool. Let's just grab the include there. Let's go to our interaction base. We'll add this in, and then Just trying to think of the other thing I want to add in then. Box. So include, or omclude apparently, components, box, component.h. I think it's box component, yeah. Cool. Now we have a volume that we can add in. So let's just go back to our character base and we'll steal our usual layout. We're going to be protected actually. So I'm just going to steal that for a moment. Come down past the constructor. And our attributes are going to be protected. And we're going to have a uBillboard component called Billboard. Actually, this is going to be private. Yeah, no, we're gonna go back to protected. Sorry, it doesn't really matter for this one, and we kind of do need access to the next one. So we're gonna do U box component, and this will be called interaction area. All right, now what we're gonna do is pop back over to our interaction base, and the children will override this. Okay, so for our most part, we're not going to worry about this thing being whatever. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I want to do something. U class specifiers. We're going to abstract out some classes, yo. Oh, it is just abstract. Cool. Right. U class abstract. Now, I kind of want to abstract the character out as well, but we're not going to for now. So we're going to do then is pop back over here, because what the heck did I just name this thing? Billboard, apparently. Billboard equal create default sub object of U billboard component. And then we'll do, is it text or F name? I can never remember for some reason. And how many times have you heard me say that, by the way? This is character. That's not going to be useful for us. What do we want to look at that would have it? Nothing. Lovely. So, where do I have a version of this? I have a version of this in my prep file. That is not the prep file. When I say prep file, I mean the prep file I'm writing for the new beginner series that we stream tomorrow. I do believe that stream is still going ahead, but I will update shortly. That isn't going to open, by the way. You're going to see an error message once it finishes doing what it's doing. The error message will be on the right-hand side. I am opening a second instance of it. See, incompatible, which is actually a new error message. You don't get that if you use older versions of 2019. All right, so I am pretty sure it is create default sub object, and like I said, player pawn. Yes, whatever. That's me working out the math for that. It is text, not F name. I don't know why I keep thinking it's F name. I do know why I think F name every so often. It's because what you're doing is you're giving the name that's showing up in the viewport. And this will be billboard. We are going to make this our root, so set root component. And that is also billboard. Cool. Right. And we're going to take the interaction area. Now, I closed it. I am going to just go back down here and protected. We're going to have a U property. And this will be edit anywhere, comma, category, equal interaction or master. Subcategory will be settings. We're going to have an F vector, and we'll call this custom interaction scale. And we're just going to default this to 1.0, 1.0, and 1.0. Unreal, you were, sorry, Unreal. Visual Studio, you're completely wrong about that change. That wasn't correct. Bad, Visual Studio. Bad. All right. So, cool. Now that we have that, I'm just going to grab that name really quickly. I'm just going to drop that there. Should have grabbed the other name too, I guess, because I didn't do that part. Interaction area. So, set up root. Use billboard to avoid scaling issues with static mesh in children. All right. Do you actually want to add a static mesh as an empty static mesh to this as well, but we'll talk about that as an option in a moment. What we're going to do next is our interaction area. We're going to create default sub object, and it's going to be u box component, and this will be called text interaction area. All right, then we're going to do interaction area set up attachment, and we're going to attach this to billboard. Cool. And then we're going to do is interaction area set 3D world 3D scale, and we'll do custom interaction scale. Right. There we go. Let's go ahead and make sure this compiles and we have a testable master. We're going to have to add in a callback into this, so when we overlap the interaction area, it can check what's interacting with it. This is part of the reason why our enemy AI and our player need to have the same root so that they can interact with the world and not have multiple things trying to do the same thing to say, oh yeah, no, it's a different actor, so we need to have a different root to it. No, it's the same actor, so it's the same parent. We have one root to it. If there's any errors, we know where the error must be. All right. Create new BP. We will put this in core. We'll go into actor, and we'll do BP interaction base. Actually, I'm going to call it interactable base, but whatevs. All right, so we can see our billboard. We can see our interaction area. And over here we have this thing. Let's just very quickly set that to 5 and compile. And add a call to parent. Okay, cool. All right, compile. Viewport. Let's make this 100. Compile. Huh. Alright, we have to use the other construction script for that. And if you don't know what I mean when I say other construction script, it's like there are 4 construction scripts, or 3. So we can go to UE5 actor lifecycle. And if you pop open the actor lifecycle documentation here, you can see we have the pre-initialization and this is components. Where are our... Oh, this is actor. Okay. So for our actor, for example, we have all of this happening. So we need to be mindful of the different constructors and how they're going to affect the system. Clearly the one I wrote in doesn't do anything. So we're going to take this for... Are you private? Oh, it's not exposed. That's why. You are not private. I just haven't exposed you. Cool. So, yeah, we can't do anything with that. Which means we have to close this. So let's go ahead and just save everything really quickly. And what we're going to do is create a C++ function really quickly called resize interaction area. So let's go start on here. This will be protected. It will be a u function blueprint. Is it blueprintable or blueprint callable? You'd think I'd know this by now, having used that particular thing so many times. It's name event. Blueprint callable. Duh. Blueprintable is something else. Blueprint callable. And this will be void set custom or set interaction area. Right. Did not mean to delete the V there. Let us define this. And we're just going to come up here, and we're going to take that, and we're going to paste it here. Cool. There we go. Done and done. Next, what we're going to do then is... let's go here and just look up U property specifiers. All right. So I'm just going to move that to the other window so I can do this more easily. And this is going to be U property. And am I in property specifiers or U function specifiers? Ah, okay. There we go. We want the blueprint read write. All right. There we go. Let's see if this loads up correctly now for us. Oh, come on. Load faster. Okay. Cool, cool, cool. Load faster. Do the thing that does the stuff, man. Like, come on, man. Okay. Let's go to our interaction master here. Boink. Cool. Can we now do that? Yes, we can. And then what we're going to do is... Well, that doesn't matter anymore. We didn't need access to that because it's not childed to that. It's in our current class. Set collision area. What did I just name this thing? Set interaction area. Set interaction area. Cool. Compile. It's still at 100. So, yeah. I would say, it kind of worked. Probably don't want to use absolute. We probably want to use relative. I think we did absolute. Set world scale 3D. Okay. Interesting. Let's take this back and set it to 1. There we are. Let's up this to 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 25, 50, 100, 75, 50, 55, 60, 70, 75. Oh, I selected the wrong thing. Boink. What I want to do now is switch over to an orthographic view with this selected, preferably. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. 75, 100. 150, 250, 500. Why is it now working correctly? I made no changes. 750. Oh, it was working correctly. It just didn't render on the screen correctly. Okay, that is something I've never seen happen before. That must be a UE5 thing. Cool, so that is working. Awesome. And I lied earlier when I said we didn't need to have that exposed. What I want to do... Also, I just want to check something really quickly. Okay, that's abstracted out, thank God. Yeah, no, I need to abstract you out. You're abstracted, you're abstracted, you're clearly abstracted, you're clearly abstracted. All of you are, I don't need to double check that. So we're just really quickly before I forget. Is it abstracted or abstract? Or abstraction? Abstract. Okay, there we go. Right. Let's head back this way. I lied to you. Let's head back this way. Let's grab this thing. And what we can do is on component begin overlap. So yeah, we have access to that callback. So we need to have this callback. Now what we're going to do is let's take a look at our core actor test warehouse. What we could just do is this. Literally. Boink. Paste that in there. Plug that in. If I can get that to line up. And then we check what the other actor is. And if this works, then hey, we're good. Now, again, to make my life a tiny bit easier, I am going to actually add a static mesh. Just so I can see where this thing is located. Now, so that I know that it is not my current one. One, I'm going to use a different mesh. And two, I'm going to use a cone. And two, let's go to the viewport, see where that cone is located. Also, do I have the default set to 100 still? I do. Cool. You can please go back to 1. Please don't drag. There we go. Alright, that is a small interaction area. So we're going to set this to 5 by 5 by 5. Actually, we'll do 15 by 15 by 15. There we go. So fairly robust interaction area. Because I don't have the parts exposed on the C++ side. Actor hidden in game. Visible. Viz. Render. Oh, sorry, I had the wrong thing selected. You're not going to let me edit the defaults. Cool. Lovely. So let's find our player starting area, which is just over here. And, oh, hey, I forgot. That's already in the world for us. Cool. Yeah. There we go. So we're going to bounce our way over there. Make sure it still works. So the way we're going to tell if it still works is if we get the same notifications we got with the last one. Fairly simple, fairly direct, not much to it. There is our cone that we're aiming for. And let's bounce our way over there. Bouncy, bouncy, bounce. Oh, God. I forgot to change something. There is a chance I'll be dead before we get there. Yeah, I think I died. So, yeah, that was foolish of me. I'm going to change everything back that I need to change back really quickly. So, we need to grab our character statistics. We need to open up our health. We lied. We need to open up our oxygen. And we need to set our oxygen back to 100. Cool. Let's go ahead and save that. We can get rid of that window. We need to go to our widget. Let's open our main widget. I no longer need this printing. I know exactly why it's doing what it's doing now. I just forgot my original plan. All right, now let's go back and do that test. All right. Bouncy. Sorry. Let's actually... What the hell? Okay, that was weird. Alright, so I'm just going to re-angle the camera since, you know, I've made it to so that when you're not on a mag boot area, you get very limited motion, just to make it a bit more of a challenge. There we are. Mag boot's active. Notice that my oxygen now is increasing. Okay. We are going to wait just to make sure the screen goes back to having some brightness again. No, we're not, because we undid all of that. No, it should go back to being bright. Okay, we'll wait a moment or two. Okay. Why is my consumption rate still so bloody high? Come on. I am really concerned that the opacity is still as high as it is. All right, we know the area is working at least, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna plug that back in. Before we do that, actually, what we're gonna do is go back to the C++ code. I swear we fixed this so that you're on the wrong side of that thing. There you go. Yeah, no, it's still doing that. Okay. We'll comment that out so that it doesn't do it in the future. I thought I got rid of that. No, we won't. What we'll do is comment that part out and just do that. Okay. That's like that line no longer exists. Also, it would be helpful if I put a terminator in. There we go. So, hey, that is working. Now, we need to do a callback for this event. Now, I have an example of this, which I'll bring up. Also, I thought I closed this. Why is that still open? Please close. Thank you. So, it's actually, the funny part is, it was what was going to be my UE5 beginner series right before UE5 got released. So I did a bunch of recordings for a series that never got released. Seriously. I'm not sure if I deleted the recordings yet or not. But if we go to UE5, I think it's Marbles is what I called it. Yeah. We had a bunch of videos. We had 9 videos recorded, and then like after I finished the 9th one, it released. In fact, let me turn the sound up on this so you can hear my voice. I'm also going to lower the volume on that.
We'll create our effects timer for our ramp, and then set it so that the effects turn off when the timer has reached a particular value. That said, this series has been brought to you by my Patreon sponsors.
See?
And now, go ahead and open up
Clearly, I don't have the thumbnail on. This is truly behind the scenes on how my shit works, yo. Oh, that's loud. Sorry about that.
Alright, welcome back to the editor, everyone. And for this video, check that in. I'm not sure why it's saying it hasn't been checked in, but okay. And
so
the maximum speed limit of it, I guess.
You can
and
see all the stuff there.
is
What is
moving.
that set for
We're using the same
implementation?
value to do so. And let's just grab the correct one.
Was
for
this
one, which is
replicated?
called Speed boost. It is.
I can't remember my setup for
Put
that.
in. And for what we're going to do down here, we're going to take these 3 lines, paste them down into the else if, and we're going to change out the plus to divide. That way we're going back to our old setting, and we're going to set that to false. And everything else there is correct. For our throw
So yeah,
marble,
just to show you that I actually did
do
this.
throw.
So we're gonna use the code from that as our, because I'm pretty sure I have included in here a thing, words, stuff, junk, a callback or two somewhere, particularly in the thing we were just looking at. What is that spot there? Cool. So here's a code for that, by the way. You'll be seeing this code again when we go back and do the other thing. Right, so it'll be in trigger. Let's open up trigger just to see if this is... Right, the callback for this might be different. But what we're going to do is... we're going to take a look at how that is actually set up there for our callback, because there are a couple of different ones for these. And this looks like it's actor begin overlap instead of, first off, we're going to close all tabs. And we're going to reopen this. And then we're going to reopen this. All right, so based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like we are not calling the... Oh, hang on, wait. A trigger sphere, goal location, sugar volume. Okay. So trigger volume is a sphere component. Perhaps then the callbacks are correct. All right. Trigger volume, set sphere radius. Okay. Don't need to worry about that. There's our override for it. Okay. I can't remember how. I know what it does. I don't remember how I set that, actually. That's the funny part. Oh, that's how. Literally, the thing I don't remember how it works. That line there. When do you actually get called, though? Oh, you're on a tick event. Yeah, that's why. Cool. Right. Yeah, that is overlapping with the actor. So what we want to do is find our notify, and it's a much longer one, I realize. You know what we're going to do, actually? We're going to look for begin overlap again. I'm pretty sure I have used this elsewhere, and I can never remember the entire callback for this current project. If I have to begin overlap. On component begin overlap. There we go. All right. Cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to write a function. Sorry, I'm just thinking about how we're going to do this. All right, we're going to write a function that is, you know what? Okay, so what we're going to do with this function is we're going to do nothing on it. We're just going to do, actually, I might want to do this as a bool now that I'm thinking about this. Check. Valid. Target. And this is actually going to take in a actor in, and then we're going to have a U function. Give me a second. I didn't prep this part out, by the way. So I'm just having to think for a moment. Okay, so we're going to do grab that again. U function, category equals master, yoink, master, interaction. Also, this will be in a category as well. Sorry, this being the one above it. And this will be in that group. Okay, so this one has to be void. And we'll do begin interaction. And then we need a U primitive component as a pointer. And this will be my component. We need an actor as a pointer, and this will be other. We need another U primitive component, and this will be other component, or other comp is what we'll call it. Then we need an int32 called other body index. Then we're gonna do bool, and this will be B from sweep. And then we will do a const, I think. Yeah, it's const. Const f hit result, and this is sweepy results, result. All right, there we go. No, you IntelliSense, you are wrong. All right, there we go. We then will do pretty much the same. And we'll call this end interact. So it'll be, again, same U function, void, and this will be end interact. And this will be U primitive component pointer, again, my component or my comp. A actor as a pointer. This will be other. Actually, I'm going to just call this other actor, so I'm much more aware of what other actually is when I'm just seeing the word other. Again, we need a U primitive component, and this is other comp. And finally, for this one, an int32 of other body index. Cool. No, again, what we can do now is set up our delegates for this and actually have the call to them at the start there. So what we need to do is has to be on begin play, if I remember correctly. You can't do it on the constructor, which is why I'm begin play in the other one. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our interaction area as a pointer, because it is or with an arrow operator because it's a pointer. And we're gonna do on component begin overlap, and then we're gonna add dynamic to this. On component begin overlap. No, do not change my code, IntelliSense. We are the actor calling this, so we are the user object, and our function, which is stored in this user object. I don't know why they make us redeclare this. Like, it won't work if you put it somewhere else, by the way. Is, well, I guess for the children it makes sense. That sounds really weird to say. It makes sense for the children. I'm talking about the children components. All right, why don't you like add dynamic? What's going on here? Must be followed by a namespace or a class. Oh, I did a marble, because that's what I was looking at earlier when I did this. Hey, class doesn't exist. It's a interaction base. There we go. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing again, except for this will be on component end overlap. And our dynamic delegate for that one is not the begin interaction. That actually should be end interaction. It will be on the end interaction. All right, there we go. Now we need to go ahead and declare and define these. Sorry, we've already declared them. We need to define them. So there's our definition call for that one. So we can get rid of that. Don't rename. Oh, please stop. And there is our definition call for that one. Right. Next, what we need to do is, just to make this a little bit easier on ourselves, we'll declare this finally as well. Or, we've already declared it. We forward declare. That's what the header is for. Every time I'm saying declare here, by the way, I do mean to say define. Sorry about that. All right, so let's go back here. All right, so these events are going to now happen when interaction happens. These are now our new parent events when we do this. So what we're going to do is on begin interact, we're going to do check if valid. So we're just going to do if, and then everything else will happen in here. And that actually is true down here. So also that is not actually a valid call. Why did you allow me to do that? Other actor has to be passed in. Okay. A reference to other actor? You know what we'll do? We'll just make this a pointer. That'll make our lives easier. I don't want to think about that too much longer. Okay? Okay. So long as we're on the same page with that one. Alright, so there we are. That's set there. And we can pass that in now. Right. Wrap that into there. And what we're going to do down here is we're going to do... Oh, that is a cheeky way to do what I want to do. Oh my god. Oh my god. I just thought of the... Okay. Oh my god. I had a really long, convoluted way I was going to do this. Oh no, we're going pure cheekiness on this one. Alright, so let's head over to... Where did I do this? I did it in the controller. Alright, give me a second. I need to find... That is a character base. I meant to also not say controller. I meant to say stats component. I need to find how I did this again. I know how I did it, but I just need to find what order I did this in. Okay. All right. I can make this an inline at this point. I shouldn't, but I could have made that an inline. So what we're going to return is that, because that gives us a boolean, and that's all we really need to know. Is this thing going to be able to use the interface? If it doesn't have access to the interface, it ain't on a valid target. Also, that doesn't need an equal sign. Sorry. All right. So what we need to do for that to work is to actually then define an interface. We need to declare an interface for this to work. So let's go back over to, just really quickly comment. We can put this back to false for a moment. We're going to comment that out, put a breakpoint there, terminator there, and I'll head back over here to our thingamajigger, our lovely, lovely thing here. Let's compile and save this. And let's go down and say Control-Shift-S. Please save all this time. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. And we're going to create a new U interface. And this will be our interactable interface. Actually, hang on. What did I declare it in here? That's not useful. UI stats. Okay. Character stats component. I stats component. Yeah, UI stats component. Did I not create another one in the last stream? I thought I did. It is interface. Public player controller interface. Cool. Interactable interface. That looks right to me, but again, because the microphone is like, and no, that's not covering it. I can see it, but just with my contacts in, the way my eyes focus, it actually is hard for me to see. Give me a second. All right, that looks right to me. Good enough for government work, yo. All right, let's let it run its thing. When it's done doing that, we'll reload everything. That part right there. Just let it do its thing. And actually, yeah, we'll just reload all at that point. All right, also, as I head up, I said this stream was going to be a bit of a short one. I have about 10 minutes before I need to leave. Okay, so we've done that. That can go away. We can do a reload. Yes, stop that, please. Awesome. So, let's go look at this interface really quickly. We need our player base. I hate when it does that. to pull from there. And so what we'll do is come back here. We'll grab... Oh, yeah, that's going to have a double I. I forgot. I was like, why does this have double I? I didn't name it interface. Interactable. Starts with an I there, Zach. That's why there's a double I. Now, the double E is due to a typo on... or is this a typo? All right, so we're going to inherit from that. Cool. I'm a bit concerned that we're getting... Oh, yeah, no, that's not going to build correctly. We're going to be cheeky, however, and just grab that thing. And let's go back to our thingamajigger over here. And we'll add that under our other interfaces. In fact, I'm going to start breaking these things up so that I know what I'm looking at. Okay, to be fair, that should be there. So we have engine built in. We have our structs and enums will be here. Our interface is here. Component and our UI. All right, now we'll build because I've updated that and actually added the interactable UI in. If this part doesn't build, then we have to debug that, of course, because this step is required to complete the next step. All right, so it's successfully built. We can now turn our attention back to this bit of code. And what we can do is start building this out correctly. So we get actor in, which we've passed in. We get its class. And then, really quickly, where did I pull this from? UI character stats. Cool. We need to also include this header before I forget to. Cool. We need to include this header in here. Nope. In here. Okay. With that header included, what we can do now is we can then finish out this bit by doing the U interactable interface. So we want that particular one, and we have access to it. Now we can build and test this. Sorry, I am literally just spamming the letter A to a friend who was able to find something for me. Right. Yeah, I can't remember what I was about to do. Oh, I just hit build. I didn't hit debug. I meant to hit debug. It's like, why hasn't anything happened? Now, here's a question. I might have screwed something up, but we'll find out together in a moment. I might have to get rid of the dynamic delegates and do the in C++, do it in Blueprint, and then bring over the other functions we were just writing. But let's just humor ourselves here for just a moment. So let's grab our interaction. Really? Oh, we already have this on here. That makes our life a little bit easier. Do we have a call to parent? No, we don't. Okay. So instead what we're going to do is check valid target. Okay. This is just to test this is working. We pass in other actor. And we will do branch print. And the first one will be yes, which we'll leave in that lovely shade of blue. I thought it was blue. And then we'll duplicate this down here. This will be no, which we'll put into a lovely shade of red, which knowing me is going to be orangey. I was going to say orange, oddly enough. But there was a moment where it was red for a second. I was like, it's going to be red. I'm going to say red. And then went orange. And I was like, no, I was right in my head originally. Why is my computer acting up like that today? Cool. Let's go make sure this works. And unfortunately, I will probably have to duck out after this just to make things easier. Right. I thought that box was moving. I was very confused for a second. Alright. Yeah. We want to move towards that thing, so let's focus our eyes on it, yo. There we go. Alright. Movement. Forward. Run, Forrest. Run! Run like your life depends on it. Sorry about the reverb effect you can hear in the game audio. Also, I forgot to change the desktop sound. So it said yes. If you didn't see, it just said yes. It just went off screen there. Also, whilst I am thinking about this, can we reset the desktop volume back to negative 10 decibels, please? That's negative 11. That's negative 10.1. That's near enough for government work. Okay. That takes us through what I wanted to, well, not what I wanted to do today, but unfortunately today does have to be an early day due to obligations in real life. So sorry that we spent half the stream, well, more than half the stream, struggling to debug something that we decided we weren't going to debug, so we were going to do something else different in the future. We got our interactable master at least set up so that we can start adding in doors, levers, things like that. Sam, that means I will be hitting you up shortly just so you're aware about the assets that we're working on over there. So yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, Sam has been lovely enough to help me work with these assets because I'm not an artist. And yes, I am slightly strafing, but you can do that when you're moving forward. Why did it reset? Oh, because I ran out of stamina while doing that. And because I'm dying. Oh god. So close. So close. Sorry for anyone I just deafened. Oh my god. For those of you who didn't catch that, I was literally 1 second. Oh, actually, probably less than a second. It's probably about. It probably was just the next tick. I was about to die in game. I barely made it into that area in time. I'm kind of confused. Oh no, because you take. Hang on. Oh my god, no, I was literally. Yeah, it was a tick away. Holy crap, that was a tick away from death. Because yeah, wow. I'm surprised I survived. Cool. So yeah, Sam has been lovely enough to help address some of the asset issues, get the doors started working for us. We'll have an animation for this door probably, or do something special for this one, because it's too big for the character to get through. But yeah, he's been lovely and helpful with that. He also did the stairwell that was gray in the other one. So yeah. Amazing guy in our community. He also does tend to join us for the watch party we do after stream. So yeah, today there'll still be a watch party. It's going to be a little bit different than usual. I'm not entirely sure how different, but it'll be a bit later. So, hey, Reverse Gutenberg Press. Sorry that I am ending early today, man. I'm just doing the outro. But yeah, no. Sam's an amazing guy. I'll be hitting him up later. That is Good Sam, not Original Flavor Sam. Original Flavor Sam decided not to yell at me today. All right. So, as usual, everything here I do on YouTube is brought to you by Patreon sponsor. Try that again. Everything you see here on this channel, on my YouTube channel, on the Discord server, etc., is brought to you by Patreon sponsors. And you, too, can help support this channel. And all you have to do is hit that like button down below. Sam, don't lie about it being lovely to work with me. Lies are bad. I'm an awful person to work with. Wait, I'm doing my outro then. Whoops. I'm about to say, you know, if you have extra money, you give it to me kind of thing. I don't want to say I'm a bad person to work with. By the way, if you can't tell, this is all tongue-in-cheek, this last little 5-second segue there. If you want to help the channel, hit the like button down below. It really does help this channel more than I can say. It actually helps other members of the community too, because it means that YouTube will be advertising this to other people. If you are not aware of, like, if you couldn't find this easily and you want it to be easier to find, hit the like button. It will be easier to find for other people then. You're helping out the community and me. And if you want to take your support a bit further and give yourself a bit of an awareness when my streams are, so it's like, we know I'm having internet issues, thus I've missed my start times. If you want to know when tutorials are released, I almost forgot on Monday to release Monday's tutorial. And then make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on all notifications. And finally, if you want to take your support just a bit further, consider becoming a sponsor on Patreon. Patreon sponsors get early access to videos. To be fair, this week I am a bit behind on that. I will hopefully have it ready by next week, next Monday, because yikes. In addition to that, Patreon sponsors get access to the tutorial project. So this is not a tutorial project. This is a personal thing I'm doing. But the stuff we do tomorrow is the prep for a tutorial project, so Patreon sponsors will get access to that and early access to the videos, which they already do have early access to the first 2 of 3 videos, so I haven't edited a 3rd one yet. So, as always, regardless of how you decide to join us, you know, either on live stream, on VOD, in the tutorials only, what have you, I look forward to seeing you in the future, be it a tutorial, be it a live stream, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.